Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Social Saturday where I'm highlighting some beautiful projects made with the Dainty Flower Designer Series paper. I'm so excited to show you some of these projects. They're projects that I shared with my stamping team already. And in fact, the heart stampers also got to see how they are made in the back end. And I thought, you know what, these are such beautiful projects that I want to share them all with you as well. So I hope you like what they have to offer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch the camera over so that you can take a look at the beautiful paper with me, and we'll get into doing a fun project with it. So again, it's the Dainty Flower Designer Series paper. I'm so excited. Now in the paper pack, you actually get 2 pieces of paper of each design that I'm about to show you. So again, this is Dainty Flowers. I'll just kind of do a little flip through here quickly. Some beautiful pink paper. All these beautiful kind of wildflowers, lilac type paper. This is all in the rich raspberry and kind of purpley colors. And then on the other side, we have some navy blue. We have some ferns and beautiful greenery. I love this. This is the fresh freesia, and you'll see a card made with this. And then check out these frames, beautiful floral frames with some fun little pieces. But then this is my absolute favorite. I am obsessed with this. And in fact, I wanted to show you some cards with this. I'll have to figure out where they are because we also did some other projects this week with that. This is the paper that I want to highlight for you guys today. I just absolutely love this kind of Field of Flowers Designer Series paper. So again, this is all 12 by 12 paper. On the other side, it's green with, again, some greenery. And then, of course, some more beautiful wildflowers. These ones are just larger in size, which will make it fun for cutting out. And then another splatter page. Isn't that awesome? And then, like I said, you get 2 packs of that. And this paper is actually free when you place an order. And so, in case you're curious at all, the Dainty Flowers, this is the Designer Series paper. And again, 2 of each. This is the cardstock backing that comes with all the 12 by 12 people. Don't ever get rid of it because one of the other projects I'm showing you today is how to make a fun gift box using this paper backing. So you are going to want to kind of do that as well. Isn't that beautiful paper? Make sure you post that in the comments. Say hello. Let me know you're here. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Trisha Shayla with Just for the Love of Stamping, and I come each week to share craftical tips and different tricks using different things. So this paper is one of them, but I'm also going to be using the Something Fancy stamp set and with some beautiful embellishments. I've kind of cut these apart. These are iridescent rhinestones, and check out those brushed gold butterflies. Aren't they pretty? Okay. I'm just going to get into the little technique with you. I want to kind of share this as a little bit of a surprise. So remember I told you it was that pretty cardstock that I'm going to, or pretty Designer Series pattern that we're using. This, we're going to do some sponging. I've actually cut the Designer Series paper in half. So we've got 2 6x6 sheets of paper. And I'm pulling out the Pool Party ink as well as the Pear Pizzazz ink for this project. So I'm just giving both of them an opening so they're ready to stamp. And then I'm using my blending brushes. Aren't those fun? They're so soft. It almost feels like a horsehair. I think it's like a mimic of it. But where I want to start is I'm going to start with my green ink. And I'm just giving this a little rub right inside the ink pad. And I'm taking this Designer Series paper and I'm starting at the ground, so where the Field of Flowers is. And we are just brushing up that green to kind of fill in the back. So do you see how that just switched? It just completely changed the look by adding some extra color directly to the paper. There is so many possibilities with this paper, so many. And as soon as you can add different layers of ink, but I want to show you this because it's a super quick project. My focus on stamping is trying to make things super quick. I don't want you spending endless hours in the craft room stamping. I don't want you spending endless hours on Pinterest. I know we all get sucked into that, but I'm hoping to kind of inspire you to be able just to take one of these ideas and go with it. And again, this is all pattern paper that's already designed. You don't have to add a whole lot of extra stamping. You can to kind of spruce it up a little bit, but I just love this paper. Okay, I think that's enough green grass for now. So now I'm taking the pool party. This is kind of a blue color that I love to do sky scenes with. So again, I'm just kind of brushing that, and I'm starting off the page and stamping on the page. So I'm just brushing onto the page. My ink needs to be refilled here, so that's why I keep going back to it. I'm sure some of you guys have fully inked ink pads. In fact, as part of the craft room cleanup crew, we are working on that actually right now this week to kind of get our ink pads in order. So hopefully you'll see that. Anyways, I hope you can kind of see where I'm going with that. I'm filling in all the blues, the blue sky, to kind of lead up to the green grass so that it's absolutely beautiful. Kind of get seeing a lot of that, but you see, oh, see, you can see my little, I got to try and brush that out a little bit, where I had a big dark ink spot. Now, it does, depending on how inky your pad is, it may take you a few layers to get it exactly where you want it, but it doesn't have to be perfect because remember, this is the sky. It's all different shades, but look at that. Look how absolutely beautiful that is. So let me show you the project. So that was super easy. It took us, what, a couple of minutes just to kind of get the ink going with that. So let me show you one of the cards. So what I did is so pretend that we actually got both of these all colored up. I'm laxing on the blue on that side, but I'll finish that one later. So we've got 2 6x6, one 6x6 we're putting aside. The other one, we're going to trim this. We're going to trim this down to 2 3/4 inches. And that is going to be the front base of this card. Check out how beautiful this card is. Again, it's just that paper that ended up being, that we ended up coloring, right? And actually, it's probably good I show you this. So it goes from being, you know, with a white background, pretty flowers, it's pretty. But as soon as you add some extra color, there's just a whole lot of more wow as part of that, right? So I'm just a little confused. I don't know why it's, okay. I'm touching all kinds of buttons, so all kinds of things are popping up. So let me show you quickly how to make this card. This is, again, a super easy card now that we have everything all done. I've got myself your basic card base, which is measured to 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half. And we're going to give that just a little extra fold. Now, also as part of this collection, remember I said that fresh freesia, which I absolutely love. We're going to mount that directly to the card base, a little bit of Stampin' Seal. Now this is cut to the same size as the base, so it's 5.5 by 4 1/4, which is in inches, our standard piece, because I'm actually from Alberta, Canada, for those of you who might not know me. So now we're going to trim that, what did I say, 2 3/4 inches. Oh, and then I need to trim it down. I'm going to trim at the sky because I need this to be 5.5 inches so that it's the same size as my card. Trim, trim, trim. And don't get rid of your scraps. We can add those to scrapbook pages or other little projects. So you can just put those aside. I'm going to go ahead and mount this. Now, let me tell you, though, the other project that we're going to gift with this gift card, oh, you are going to be totally in awe with it. If any of you are watching who have made the project that I'm about to make, don't tell what it is, but let everyone know whether or not it's super awesome. We are going to mount this. This is just a strip of pool party, 3.5 inches long by 3/4 inch, just to kind of bring together a visual for your eye to go to when we go to put on our tag. Now, our tag is actually made with a piece of basic white cardstock This is measured to 1.5 by 2.5 inches. And we're using the Very Best punch. And with the Very Best punch, there's different corners, sections that do different things. We've got one that cuts it off like a tag, one that gives a fancy corner, and one that has a little slot in it. So I'm just going to put this in the one with the slot, and I'm going to start with it this way. I'm squaring it up, and then I'm pressing to get the punch out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip and put it in the same way and press. Now this is important, otherwise you're going to get different looks if you end up putting it in on all different sides. So I'm going to flip, put it in like so, and then there is my little fancy label punch, all made with the Very Best punch. Is that not super fun? So I'm going to add some Blackberry Bliss. Now I like the Blackberry Bliss with the Fresh Freesia because it's a darker color and it really pops up the words on here. And so again, I'm going to use this something fancy. We're going to use the thank you that's within that. And I just want to say thank you to Donna W out there for kind of getting that prize to me. I actually won this stamp set, and inside of it was a cute little handmade tag. Love it. So thanks, Donna. Oh, okay. And now I pushed a little too hard. The edges on there were just a little too much. So you do want to make sure when you're tapping into your ink pad, you're not squishing it. I just want to go tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. But you know what? Good thing there's two sides. So we are just going to try that again. Just a little bit of pressure in the center. And voila, look at that. We made it work. Okay, so now I do want to pop this up just to give it a little bit of dimension so it's not so flat. We'll cover that oopsies and peel off the little pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mount that like this. Isn't that cute? Now look, I'll show you that actually at the end. Now I'm going to use some linen thread like this. Now I'm doing a double thread. So I'm just going to kind of measure that with my hand and snip that. And now I get to try and tie a bow on camera. But I know not all of you are bow tiers, and that's okay. You could tie a knot. It'll look just as beautiful. We'll see whether or not I can make this work. Okay, look at this beautiful linen thread. This is one of my all-time favorite things. I don't know what I'll do if Stampin' Up! Ever gets rid of this. I'm hoping this is in the catalog forever and ever and ever. Now I'm going to use some glue dots. Well, a glue dot. The glue dot is directly here on the thing, but I'm just going to kind of curl it a little bit. I just want to make it a little smaller size so that it sticks and it doesn't stand out from the knot. So it just sticks to the back of the knot like so. And then I'm going ahead and just adding the bow like so. Now we need those embellishments that I showed you because of course everything is extra super cute with bling. So I'm going to add, this is the iridescent gems. I'm going to add a big one and a small one right here. Again, I'm just using my paper snips to help lift that. And I'm going to put one up here on the flower maybe. Does that go? Yeah, that works. And then we're going to grab some brass butterflies and add those to our projects. These are nice and flat. So you know what if you mail the card, it doesn't put on a whole lot of extra weight and they are super cute. Now, is that not awesome? I don't know. I just thought that was a super cute card. It's a good card design, actually designed by Stampin' Up. And here is the other card just to kind of show you the different looks. So it all depends on where you end up cutting that designer series paper. Every card you make will be slightly different. And in fact, this one I cut a little bit longer. This was 2 3/4. This one I cut to 2 1/2. So again, it just depends on how much of the DSP you want to use. And remember I said, depending on how you stick your label in the punch, whoops, look at how different, I don't really want to, look how different the edges are on that versus this one. So they just got tucked in. I ended up using the other side than what I did with this one, but it gives you a different label look. So there's so much you can do with that. I think it's called the very best punch, and it really is the very best punch. Highly recommend it. So those are fun cards to go with the gift that you want to make. So again, remember, we cut that DSP into 6x6. Check this out. Now, everyone, don't go out and rush out all at once, but this was a design that I cased off of Hattie with Honeybee Stamps. I love, love, love the idea she shared at Christmas time, and I had to redo it using this designer series paper. I think this little calendar gift is all in a clear frame that I just picked up at Winners or HomeSense. So go and check it out. I know my team's been cleaning them out over the last little while, but I'm sure they've had time to restock. And maybe you're somewhere else in the country and might find them at your store. But all I did was take that 6x6 piece of paper that we've sponged and put it inside the frame. And then on top of the frame, we mounted it just with some more designer series paper and one of these little calendars, and then added a few other embellishments. I don't know why it's not picking it up. There we go. We've got some butterflies and the brass butterflies, and I just stamped another greeting on there. Grateful for the everyday magic of you, which is also part of me of that something fancy stamp set. Now, is that not super cute? I think this is a great project, but we need a gift box to put it in, right? So we've got the gift, we've got the card. Now we actually need the gift box to put it in. So let me just move this out of the way and I'll show you. So remember how I said you want to keep those backings of the designer series paper like this. They're just the white backings. Now what you're going to do is you're going to score each side. Let me move my stuff out of the way here. We're just going to move this in, and we're going to score at 1 3/4 inches on all sides. So we actually need 2 of these pieces of paper. One of them is scored at 1 3/4 inches, and one of them is going to be scored at 1 3/4 inches less an eighth, or less 1/16. So less one little notch. Okay. So 1 3/4 less 1/16, and I should have figured out what that is in 16ths, but I don't have that, so you can bear with me. So you need 2 pieces. One is scored at 1 3/4 inch on all sides, and then the second one is 1 3/4 inch less 1/16. So I'm doing the less 1/16 because I actually have half the box already made for the power of TV. So I'm doing this one to 1 3/4 less 1/16 around all sides. And that's just so that one can be the bottom of the box, one can be the top of the box. And so one has to be slightly smaller so that the lid can go over top, right? So that's all I need that for. And then I'm going to go ahead and snip. I'm going to go ahead and snip up to the score lines. So on each side, I'm just snipping that little corner square from the bottom to the top, like so. I probably should have folded along all the score lines first. So if you're doing this separately, highly recommend that you fold along all the score lines before you start snipping up. But when I snipped, you see I snipped on the same sides, like opposite sides. So I'm just going to fold that over. This is where you can use your bone folder as well. And I'm going around all edges, folding them over inwards. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure that the writing from the paper backing is on the inside. Like so. Okay, and then you can go ahead and start assembling. Now, I found the best way to assemble is, forget how I'm doing this. Yes, I'm taking tear and tape and I'm putting a strip along the score lines. So where I had this cut, I'm putting the paper there, just so that when I fold over, it's kind of right there. Now, you can find what works for you. This seems very simple and quick. Now, you want to keep in mind that this gift box is still paper and the support just isn't there. So you do still want to be careful when you gift this, that, you know, you're not holding it freely wheelie, if that makes sense. So I cut that off, and now I'm just folding that over and putting that there. Has anyone made this box? How do you guys save your cardstock? Let me know if you save the white cardstock or the white card backing. If you do, put in the comments #card backing. Because you know what? I think I'm going to give away a package of this designer series paper to one lucky person. Now, I will mail this to you. But however, if you're someone that I do have to mail this to, I will cut this to 6 by 12 inches and put it in the mail. Otherwise, I will leave it as is if you're someone local to YEG area and can pick it up, or we can make arrangements. So do #card backing. You know what? Even if you don't save it, just use that hashtag. We're going to try a fun little giveaway, actually. We're going to see if that works with the possibilities of this platform that I'm using to stream on, which is something new. Okay, so we have this all done up. Now, like I said, we're going to cover that. So I took another piece of designer series paper, and I cut this to 8 by 8 inches, and I'm going to use this just as a beautiful backing within the box, right? I just need to find where I hid this. I'm using my Stampin' Seal. You can use whatever adhesive you think works best. This is going to be a temporary measure. Depends on who you gift it to, right? Someone might throw it directly into the recycle bin. Someone else might cherish it forever and use it as a storage box. But there we go. So there we've got the lid to a box. I've already got the other side done. And remember I said I made this one slightly smaller. So we're going to just go ahead and cover this. Well, ideally, I'm going to have my gift all wrapped in tissue paper. This fits this frame absolutely perfect, wrapped up in tissue paper in this box. It was like this box was designed for this frame because this frame is so beautiful. Now I'm just going to watch. This is probably the smaller one. It is. Okay, let me put this over on this side. Again, let's pretend this is all wrapped in tissue paper, and we're going to put the lid on, and just like that, it fits so beautifully. It's like the perfect little fit. I don't know. I just absolutely love it. Okay, but then we've got all this other designer series paper left in the packet, right? So I've already pre-done and pre-stamped for you. Again, using that something fancy. It's the same words that are on the frame. Grateful for the everyday magic of you. And then we've layered it on a whole bunch of designer series paper. And then we're going to, again, use our seal and put it down. And someone's like, yeah, they're a hoarder of that stuff. That's actually pretty funny. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go ahead and put my adhesive on it. Again, depending on how much you want to put on or whether or not you think it's going to fall off. Now, I forgot I made this box a little bit larger than the other one, but that's okay. Having a little bit of the white trim around actually is not a bad thing. Now, is that not beautiful? You can add some ribbon. You can add some extra flowers. There actually is a whole stamp set and die collection that goes with this Dainty Flowers. It's just right now it's unorderable, but you might be one of the lucky souls who has it. So you can give that a try. I just think this is like a fun project. You can go all out and decorate the sides, but I think that's just a great way to gift. So we've got that. And then of course you're going to put the card that you made inside that. And let me see. What else did I make here with this? So you can pick one of your cards to stick in there. Oh, I just wanted to show you another card actually that I made using the same designer series paper. So this is the gift. This is kind of what I wanted to show you. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will also post pictures on Just for the Love of Stamping so that you can see that. But I did want to show you this card that I did for a swap. Again, it's using all that designer series paper. Again, all the same colors, and it's a Valentine's card where we just stamped a little bit on the pattern paper, but there's so much that you can do with that. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. Oh, someone's asking how my foot is. Thanks, Joy. My foot is healing just nicely. For those of you who don't know, I've just kind of been recovering from a broken ankle. And this week I'm starting to be able to put some weight on it. And we've just kind of mastered the crutches last week. So all is good. We're on recovery. Hopefully I'll be in the craft room in a few weeks. I'm hoping by April at least. One of these days I'll be able to get downstairs without a whole lot of assistance. Anyways, thank you. I'm so glad you love the box. I'm glad you like the projects, and I'll keep them coming. So if there's anything you want to see or any ideas that you have, by all means, message me. But before I let you go, I do want to do this giveaway for the paper using the giveaway tool. So let me just put in the hashtag. I had you guys put in, what did I have you put in? Cardboard. Was it cardboard? Hashtag, what did I put? Oh, you guys, we got all these hashtag quarters. Okay, you know what? Put in card backing. Yes, all one word. I'll let you guys do that if you're watching, because the giveaway is only going to look for hashtag card backing. That's all one word. So do that, hashtag card backing, and all small letters. I'm putting it in, and I'm starting to collect all the comments. Who has them? And it looks like so far there's 4 people, and there's more than 4 of you on. So some of you, make sure you enter that. I'll kind of stall here for another moment. The next card night is happening, I believe it's March 11th, if that's a Saturday night. So check that out if you're wanting to make maybe some fun green cards. And we're going to actually feature the Lucky Clover stamp set. They won't all be shamrock cards. We'll make one shamrock card, and then the rest will be some, you can convert them into whatever you want. So stay tuned, watch for more of that. But again, get your hashtag card backing in there so that we can give away this prize. So I'm going to try now. Okay, we've got 6 entries in, so I'm going to just go back and share the screen so you can kind of see how this all works. Okay, hi Margaret, thanks for joining. So, okay, I'm just going to go back. And we are sharing the screen so that you can see what it is that I'm seeing. Okay, so now